Every single day, billions of times, we tap, swipe, or stick our cards in a machine to pay for something. It feels so simple, right? Almost instant. But behind that smooth, easy experience, there's actually a hidden, high-stakes war being fought in milliseconds. So today, let's pull back the curtain on this invisible war against card fraud. Think about it. You tap your card to grab a coffee, and boom, a few moments later, you're walking away with your drink. We never really stop to ask, what just happened? Well, in that tiny little window of time, a super complex chain of digital handshakes and security checks is happening at like lightning speed, all just to keep your money safe.
Okay, so this right here, this is the battlefield. When you pay for something, your card's information goes on this crazy fast journey from the shop to your bank to get the okay, and then all the way back again. It's a digital handshake that's over in seconds. And it's this exact journey that needs to be protected 24/7.
All right, now let's meet the bad guys. Fraudsters are always on the lookout for any little weakness in that payment journey. And we're not talking about just one type of thief here. Oh no, they have a whole arsenal of different tricks up their sleeves.
You can pretty much split fraud into two big families. First, you've got card-present fraud. That's what happens when a criminal physically gets a hold of your card or its data. And then there's the other kind, card-not-present fraud, which is all the stuff that happens online or over the phone, where all they need are your card details, not the plastic card itself.
Let's kick things off with a real classic, card-present attack, skimming. This is an old-school trick where criminals slap a small, sneaky device right on top of a real card reader to secretly steal the data off your card's magnetic stripe.
And wow, these things can be incredibly sneaky. See here on the left, that's a normal ATM slot. But on the right, that's a skimming device placed right over it. It looks almost exactly the same. Maybe it feels a little loose if you jiggle it, but let's be honest, in a hurry, you could easily miss it. And just one swipe is all they need.
But these days, the fight has really moved online. A super common card-not-present method is something called a bin attack. Now, with this, the thieves don't even need to see your card. They just start with the first few digits of a card number. That's the bank identification number, or BIN, which tells them exactly which bank issued the card. And this is where the brute force assault really begins. Once they have that BIN, they use automated software, bots, to just generate thousands and thousands of possible card numbers and expiration dates. Then they just bombard some poor merchant's website with millions of tiny payments, testing every single combination, until, bang, they get a match. And just like that, they've found a real working card number they can use for much bigger thefts. And the damage these attacks cause is just staggering. This number you're looking at, over 45 million Bangladeshi taka, that's how much was stolen using just one specific type of fraud in 2024. It just goes to show you how profitable this whole invisible war is for the criminals. So, with all these threats out there, how in the world do banks fight back? Well, they've basically built a virtual fortress with a whole team of sophisticated digital detectives that are on watch all the time. And this fortress is protected by a bunch of digital tripwires, constantly scanning for anything that breaks your normal pattern. Like, for instance, a geolocation mismatch. Did you just buy gas in Dhaka? And then boom, 5 minutes later, a laptop in London? No way. The system flags it as impossible. Or what about a velocity check? Are there like 10 tiny purchases in 30 seconds? That's a huge red flag for a bot attack. The system also learns your habits and flags anything that seems out of character, like a sudden massive purchase you've never made. Now, when one of those tripwires gets triggered, it doesn't just block something and call it a day. It sounds a loud alarm, and a very specific, human-led process kicks into gear immediately. First things first, a real person, a fraud expert, reviews the alert and looks at your recent transactions. If something still seems fishy, that's when you get that call or text message asking, "Hey, was this you?" And that right there is the crucial step where they figure out if it's a real threat or, just you buying something nice for yourself. And if you say, "Nope, that wasn't me," the response is immediate. Bam. The fraudulent charge gets reversed, your card is blocked instantly to stop any more damage, and a new one is already on its way to you. They'll also explain what happened and use what they learned to make their defenses even stronger. So, the banks have all their high-tech systems and their expert teams, but they can't win this war by themselves. The final and honestly, maybe the most important line of defense is you. You are on the front line. And you have some pretty powerful weapons you can use. Simple little habits can make a huge difference. Always cover the keypad when you enter your PIN. Before you use a card reader, give it a little wiggle. If anything feels loose or weird, just walk away.
And make it a habit to check your transaction history. If you see anything that looks wrong, report it right away. Seriously, your awareness is a fraudster's worst nightmare. This invisible war really is a constant cat and mouse game. As our defenses get better and better with things like AI and biometrics, you can bet the criminals are already cooking up new ways to attack. And that leaves us with a really big question. As the thieves get smarter, what's the next generation of defense going to look like? What new weapons will we need to win the next battle?